Hey, Year 9s, I'm just going to quickly show you, I've made this video to show you how to calculate the mean, median, mode, and range for your data once it's already been grouped. So from the raise of hand, basically as indicated yesterday when I asked how your data is currently looking, most of you said that it was grouped. So this video is just to help you calculate your mean, median, mode and range when your data looks like this, okay? So effectively, you should have created your histograms by now. Remember to label your axes, so you need to label your X and Y axis, and obviously you need to make sure that you include the title, clearly indicating which group data you're looking at. So say, for example, this is Year 8 data, and then I need to create another histogram for my Year 9 data. So just a bit of terminology. So these ranges here, we refer to those as class intervals, and sometimes we call them bin sizes. But for this video, I'm going to refer to them as class intervals. So here, 0 to 2 is a class interval, 3 to 5 is a class interval, 6 to 8 is a class interval, you know, so on and so forth. So that 0 there, we refer to that as an endpoint, so a class interval endpoint, and then 2 is another class interval endpoint. It's really long, so I'm so sorry about that. But yeah, as I said, a class, can I write on here? Technology, hopefully. So class, oh my gosh, it works. Class interval. Actually, no need for a capital letter. Class interval endpoint. It's really confusing with that little thing there. Yeah, cool. Can I move that? No, doesn't do that. All right. So now what we need to find is we want to find the median. And what the median is equals the middle number. Okay. So yeah, effectively what we want to do is find the middle number. Okay, so say for example, if you know, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, the median, the middle number of that would be 10. Okay, so for most of you it would be relatively easy because your ranges are quite small. You can kind of just have a look at your data and I guess identify, see ya! You can identify the middle number. So if I'm looking at 0 to 2 as a class interval, I know that the middle number is 1, and so on and so forth. So I'm just going to fix that up. Okay, perfect. So I'm back on the spreadsheet now. If you weren't 100% sure, what you could do to find the median number is, I'm just going to my calculator. Okay, so what you would do is you would go, you add your two endpoints together, so 0 plus 2 equals 2. Yep, good. We know that. And then we're going to divide that by 2. So my median class interval would be 1. It's like, say for example, if you have got 0 to 49, you're going to go 0, add 49 equals, and then divide by 2. Okay, so, and then you would put your median class interval number just in here. So 6 to 8, I know that the middle number is 7, but if you didn't know that, which is okay, you'd go 6, add 8 equals, divided by 2 equals 7. Cool, so just remember that, so you add that number plus that number, divide by 2. Now the second thing that you need to do is to calculate the frequency. So the frequency. Okay. And for the purpose of this, we're going to refer to the median class interval as X, because I love an equation, and the frequency is going to be referred to as F. Okay, cool. So the frequency here from 0 to 2 is 10. And then we've got 3 to 5 is 8. This is just for the year 8 group that I'm doing at the moment. And then I'll need to do the same for the year 9 group. And then 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, cool. And I just need to check what this side's going to be called. Okay, and this is going to be called fx. Yep, everything's looking like it's pretty, so that's nice. Okay. Okay, so what you're going to do here, basically here we're going to go f times x. So in order to do that, you could just go, you could get your calculator and go 1 times 10, which is obviously 10, and kind of do it in your head, or you might like to use a calculator, or alternatively you could just use Excel. So in here I'm going to go equals this cell times by this cell, okay, is 10. So the cool thing about, I love it, Microsoft Excel, my year 8s and I use it all the time, we are obsessed with it, is you can actually carry down this formula all the way down. Yay! But it's important that you understand how I got to that point. Okay, so I times the median class interval by the frequency. So, cool. How am I going for time? Okay, so then the next step that we need to do is we effectively need to calculate all of these numbers together. So what we're going to do is go equals, and you could go and get your calculator and do the old-fashioned way. Okay, well, the old-fashioned way would actually be using paper and pencil. 10 add 32 add blah blah blah. You know, you could do it like that, but I'm not going to do it like that. So I'm going to go equals the sum, which is adding, and then I'm going to open my bracket. I'm going to add all of these. Okay, and basically that's just added up all of those. And then I also want to find out what my total frequency was. So say, for example, that would be my total frequency is how many people I surveyed in total. Okay, so I'm going to find out what that is. I mean, when I say in total, I mean my year 8s in total, not my year 8s and 9s. So to do that, I'm going to go equals sum and highlight everything I want it to add up. Okay, or I could just, you know, if I deleted that, okay, and I could just carry this formula across. So go like this, okay, because that's the good thing about Microsoft Excel, you can just carry formulas across. Okay, so I'm hoping I explained what we were doing here. Okay, so basically what we're doing is we're trying to find, even though we had to locate the middle point, which is the median for each of the class intervals, what we're actually doing here, and I should have said it at the start, so I really hope I did, is we're calculating the mean. And what the mean is it's the average number, okay? So the mean equals the average number of it, okay? So how you do that is you get all of basically your answers, okay, and you add them together, and then you divide them by your total number of responses. So say, for example, if you know you got surveys from your year 8s, and before you grouped them, okay, so before you grouped them you got 7, 5, 3, 2, you know, you didn't actually put them into groups, and this makes it easy when you do it like this, okay. So these are all your, imagine that these are all your surveys, and instead of actually tallying them, you just said how many hours of homework do you do a week, and these are your scores. What you would do then to find the average number is you would firstly get the sum, okay, so you add all the scores up together. So I'm adding all these numbers, okay, so 59, and then what you would do is you would divide that number by your total number of respondents. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, and then what I would do is divide that by 15, okay, and that would, to my second decimal point, the average amount of time that a year 8 watches TV would be 3.93 hours, okay? But the issue here is we don't have those raw scores. We've already grouped them, so that's where it becomes a bit problematic. So we've almost made the assumption that the average, I'm trying not to be super confusing, but yeah, I guess what we have done, it's your mean and medians and modes, for example, are going to be more reliable when you have got this type of data. Once they've been grouped, when you're calculating, you know, your means in particular, it becomes less reliable, okay? Because what we're doing is, instead of adding up all of these actual raw scores, we're adding up the median, okay, of each of these, adding all those up and then dividing it by the total number of respondents. I'm trying not to be confusing. So what we then do, okay, going back to the other example that we had, we're going to go, all right, so fx, we added all those numbers up together, and now we're going to divide that by 28, which is the total number of respondents that did the surveys. Okay, cool, and that would be your this response here, so 5.285, okay, to the second decimal point would obviously be 5.29, but we would say that that is your mean score for your average number of hours for that year 8 group. So that is how to calculate your mean, and then you would obviously have to do the same for your year 9s. So I'm just going to move that. I don't think I can. So I might just quickly show you that again, just in case you're a bit confused, which is okay. So luckily the range is the same, so the class interval. Right, and then you're just going to get your, I'm going to copy these again because I can't be bothered rewriting them. That's why Excel's amazing. Okay, cool. So because these are all in order, I can just simply copy and paste these here. Okay, so that's the frequency, remember? So 9 people said that they watch, 9 people in year 9 said that they watch 0 to 2 hours of, complete 0 to 2 hours of homework per week. But now we need to find the median class interval. It's the same. Okay, so we need to do that. We've already found the median class interval, so we're good. We just copy that. All right, and now we just simply need to times this by that. So equals this times this equals that. We pull this down. Okay, then we go equals sum, and this is where we add up all of these warlocks. Okay, and now we need to find out how many respondents we had. So equals sum. Oh no. Oh no, bro. I love it when I make mistakes on the computer. It's my favourite. So equals sum. Cool, so then we're, okay, so obviously, whoops-a-daisy, in year 8 we interviewed 28 people, but then in year 9 we interviewed 31. That's probably going to be the same with you guys. So I'm just going to divide that by 31. All right, interesting. So it looks like the mean score for my year 9s, by the way, this is all made up data, because I know people would do so much more homework than this, is 6.71 hours of homework per week. So that is the average. Cool. And then the average for the year 8s was 5.29. So we often use mean, median, mode and range when we are basically analysing our results. So yeah, so basically that's how you can calculate your mean. How you would calculate your range It's going to be kind of not as reliable when we've already grouped the data. But what you do is you go your highest score, subtract your lowest score, and that's your range. So here, we're going to have to use our endpoints. So, for example, the range here, we would effectively go 0 take 18, or that our range is going to be 18. But say, for example, if students gave you, like if you're looking at the scores here, if you wanted to calculate the range here, what you would do is go the highest score, take your lowest score. So it's going to be equals 10, take 3. So in this data set, for example, the range would be 7. So that is how you calculate your range. I've spoken to you already about your mean. I might pause it here because I've been talking for a while and maybe that's probably enough.